Along to this live stream of the women's division pool match between the USA and Australia. We're live from the beaches of Lignano Sabbiadoro here in Italy. Welcome along. I hope you do enjoy the coverage that we're able to bring you this afternoon, wherever you are. As always, you can contact us during the broadcast. We'll try and read out your tweets and emails as they arrive. I'm joined in the commentary booth / bit of scaffolding by the Mixed Masters player Liz Garfinkel from the US of A. Hello, Liz.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Tom.
Going to be a hot one. In fact, they've all been hot ones, these midday 1 o'clock matches. They really are stifling. So, Liz, if you could help me out with the names of the USA players, that'd be great. As the
Ratcliffe with the disc right now.
Radcliffe sends it forward, beautiful disc floating long and just short of the end zone. It's mad, just short of the end zone there. Looking open side, not available. The Australian closing it down. Ratcliffe again with the disc, number 13 with the shirt on the back, and into open side. A big bid from the Australian. Is it?
Caught by Trudy Phillip.
Yeah, I think it was Suzanne with the big bid from Australia, but Trudy Phillip with the grab and making themselves available on the open side already. This USA team using the athleticism.
They are. And entering the field right now, we've got Rory Titcomb picking up the disc of the 5 Ultimate family. And Julie Sussman, number 71 from the East Coast area, New York, I believe, or around their parts.
Steve was admiring Rory's pull yesterday.
Yeah, she's
So
a great player.
right into the corner of the pitch. So we'll look out for exciting things from here. So just take us down the line. We've got number 7, which is
That's Alison Regan. She's one of the captains of the team, I believe, put it together.
so Regan, number
Few players
7.
I've ever seen keeping her hair down while playing in this incredibly hot sun.
Is that so she looks great when she lays out?
I have no idea why she does that.
She gets the nice flow going on. If I had hair like that, I think I might leave it down while I was laying out. So the Australians now starting on their first offensive point. Moving the disc. The Aussies looking for space. They've got a cut coming deep, coming under. Nice grab, a little bit of pressure from Sussman there. Manages to put the number 23 player, I think that's Helen, for the Aussies. I was just watching their dance warm-up. Warming up by dancing in the shade to whatever music was available to them in the bar. And Titcomb now spreads the disc wide. Sussman with the disc. Back to Titcomb. Sweet passes now. Johnson looking deep, but there's no options. She manages to find Titcomb again through Vice, and a mistake from Titcomb. The disc going low, a little bit too low, and number 7. Remind me of number 7's name again. The long hair, the
Alison Regan.
Alex Regan.
Captain, one of the captains of the team.
So Regan with the 7 shirt and the blue hat, letting that disc. Oh, it's a little bit too far ahead of her. And the Australians now, they're ladies on a roll at the moment. They've won the last 3 games and really wanting to bring a good performance against this USA side. Let's see what they can do. Oh, a nice. Yeah, just the advancing number 17 stopping their cut and turning back. And at the same time, okay. Stopping her cut and going back, and at the same time the disc being put up there. So Johnson now finds Regan to Titcomb. Space on that far side. And, oh, look, again a mistake from Titcomb. Overthrow. This time the target was Johnson. And it goes to the ground. We've seen just a little few handling errors from the Americans, but it was Titcomb getting it back there, advancing fast into that disc, and not enough aggression from the receiver. She sets off for a nice cross cut, picks the disc up in the middle of the park, and again just keeps moving, disc barely stopping, and she lays it again, asking a lot of her receiver, and she waves her hand up to show appreciation. But I think I know that the hand was to signal a pick, not to show appreciation for the dive. But the dive was impressive nevertheless.
It was a good dive. It was not too far out of reach. It was certainly something one should be able to dive for on the beach without too much trouble, I think.
Johnson with a short pass in. There it is. The USA scoring quickly. They move out to 2-0 against this Aussie side. And already the USA looking very, very strong. Their movement is fluid. Their passes are sweet. They seem confident. And they win 2-0.
Okay, on the U.S. side, it's a little hard to see from here who has the disc to pull, but we've got Trudy Phillip again on the line. We've got number 77, that's Poof Sanderson. And that's all I can see from here. Beautiful pull.
Disc landing at the back of the end zone, swing across. Wind not really an issue at the moment for either team. Tamara sends a disc down pitch, but aggressive defense and gets in front. No complaint from...
Sanderson, number 77.
No, it has been a complaint. Definitely a complaint there. She definitely took the disc, but she took a lot of the Australian number 4 as well. And it's Tamara with the disc for the Aussies with a grey cap on. Taps to the floor. And now flowing for the first time we've seen the Aussies making yards and looking good. It just seems like when they're turning for the dump is already going deep, and a foul uncontested. Tamara with the 0, one of the captains of this Aussie team. Nice disc forward to number 4. And the disc just comes out a little bit too quickly. Tamara caught unawares, and the USA have set off at a pace. The disc is going to get sent up deep, and beautifully read, beautifully timed. Great cut. And it was the Australian number 7 was just running through as that disc got sent deep. And the player with the assist there not got a number on the back of her shirt. Do you know who that is, Liz?
I don't. I can't recognize her from here, so I'm afraid I don't. But the receiver was Poof Sanderson. And she caught the disc there. It was a beautiful throw, though. And afraid I don't know. Seems like she's borrowing somebody else's shirt. Her white jersey might have gotten away from her at some point this time.
Well, let's hope she's properly rostered. So we have had some breaking news of a scandal in the Open division.
What is that?
Well, until it's all confirmed, I'm afraid I can't say any more of that. But just look out for news of a potential rostering issue in the Open division. So, hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you are in the world. We've got the Australian versus USA women here, live from the beaches of Italy. We're just trying to get a copy of our Australian roster. We have Liz to provide us with the USA names, but a mistake already again from the Aussies.
And the pressure D by Rory Titcomb, who is now picking up the disc.
So Titcomb, Johnson making a nice cut down the line. Flame hairs and number 21 on the back. And 4, Titcomb finds so much space. And who's that with the end?
That's Julia Weinert, who last year played in the Bay Area with Zeitgeist, a women's team, and is now in Michigan playing mixed because there's no women's team in Michigan.
Okay, so Clyda from the Portugal team has wandered back across pitch with our fantastic roster. Thank you very much. So the first thing you notice when you get hold of this roster is how short the Aussie ladies are in numbers. Is it 11 they have on there?
11.
Yeah, 11 players. The USA with 15, so they have the numbers, potentially the ability to roll the line 3 times for the US of A. And so we've got on pitch for Aussie at the moment, number 7. That's Heidi Bell Dukovac. And number 4, Melanie orb. And it's Tamara Davis with that hand up in the air, but the disc goes out the side.
The score is 4-0 at the moment, so the Aussies, the score is farther apart than one would think based on the play. It's not been, doesn't look completely like the U.S. are taking over as much as the score reflects, but the Aussies having a little trouble just finishing.
And I think it's Tara with the disc now, ex-Aussie junior. And she steps the disc forward and looks left and right. Nice disc forward, managing to find the first pass and cutting nicely back herself again. Tara, and a foul from Julie Sussman there, getting her hand low. Aggressive pressure from the US. And Tara takes the disc again. Tara finds Heidi. Down to Melanie. Melanie back to Heidi again. Looking deep, it's great shot and perfection with the disc. It's a great disc down the line. Melanie Orb with the collection in the end zone, but it was Heidi Bell-Dukovac with that put. And we see the Aussies move forward, and actually they looked really quite nice in that game, in that point there, Liz.
Yeah, they did. They had the basic spread offense with 2 handlers back, 3 across, and they just did some nice easy passes. So they had the open, about a half field throw, but it was nice open cut for that, and it worked out pretty well for them.
Yeah, and scoring on the open side has got to give the team a bit of confidence that they can run with this American team. I think a few people I've spoken to after they've played the Americans, and this is in different divisions, not in this particular division, but they said because they're such strong sides and they're names that you've heard of and they're players that you recognise, and when you go into the game, it's very difficult to persuade yourself that you can run with them and you can keep pace with them, and as a result, you kind of go into it thinking you've already lost it. And then when you can build up a bit of your own momentum and get the confidence in that actually, they're just players, they're just humans, and you can run with them. And if you give it 100%, they might make mistakes, and then you've got a game. But having conceded 4 points already, let's see if the Aussies can get a few more. And we almost see a mistake there from Phillip with the disc going a little bit too high. She's got the disc back in her hand now, and Ratcliffe now. And looking down the line, it's looking for Phillip, a nice disc across. And this is an Aussie zone, it seems to be. Yeah, it's
not really stopping it.
Not really stopping it at all. It's all sorts of different players coming to mark the disc. It seems to be one chase and then 4 switching on the other players. Oh no, they've gone to a man now. They've gone to a man now, but it was definitely a zone at first. Just a little bit beyond. A little bit beyond the 23, outstretched.
That's Ty Carvalho. And she actually could have had that. Wasn't that far of a throw, but she tripped in the sand. A problem on the beach, obviously. Sometimes the sand just gets in the way.
Well, this sand's very, very powdery, I guess. It's very light. It's very, very dry. And accelerating it, depends if you hit a pocket, you can get your foot stuck in, you can get going. If you hit one of the peaks, you might just not get the same amount of purchase and not be able to accelerate. And so we've seen the USA get the disc back, and Phillip, the number 11 shirt, calls a foul.
It was just a fumble by the Australian player.
Natalie Roxburgh, Ratcliffe, Phillip. And a mistake from Phillip with the throw. Hands in the air. She apologises, signals to... It was the
that was Poof Sanderson again with a nice cut, but not a good throw. But it would have been a difficult throw to make. She had a good cut, but she would have had to get the disc around the Aussie player, and just didn't work out for her.
Disc goes across, and it's and pressure from Jen Sanderson and Ratcliffe across the pitch, and finds it again in the end zone. It's number 23, Ty Carvalho. The USA, once they get going, they really are dominant. And mistakes from the Aussies there, just they had ability to catch that one. The disc wasn't too far ahead of her, but receiving error. Maybe the fact that you're being pressured all the time makes people nervous and makes them make mistakes. But the Aussies are down 5-1 to the USA in this women's game from the beaches of Lignano Sabbiadoro here in Italy. All right.
A little bit of color commentary. Ty Carvalho is from Los Angeles area. She plays with Seven Figures, which is a mixed team, and she is engaged to a player also who plays with Seven Figures, who is playing on the mixed team, the U.S. mixed team, named Sam, and I cannot remember his last name. However, there's a little bit of romance, but they are on separate teams.
It's nice to see so many of the Americans over here in Italy. We've got representation in every division and big squads in every division as well. I know that even the Grandmasters squad for the USA having a good time yesterday.
This is the first time the USA Ultimate organization was involved in sending teams to Beach Worlds, and it was quite a big selection process. You had to fill out a very, very long application, and there were a lot of people to hunt through, and here we all are, and then the game's back on.
So the Aussies advancing now. Tara sends the disc deep. It's going to be pressure from Johnson, Johnson just bit a little bit too hard, went painting the bottom of the disc with her hand, but the pressure, Melanie Orb was the number 4 receiver for Australia. They clearly put off by Johnson's great jump, and it's Tara picks up the disc for the Australians now, and a real physical defence from Anna Schott there.
Yeah, and I think she probably was feeling a little frustrated because she didn't get the disc, and so she wanted to really put the pressure Dion, but it was a little bit too close, and the foul was called.
And a foul by... Hang on, has it been contested? No, this is just a straight turnover. There was a bit of argy-bargy in the end zone, but the disc never went, and it didn't affect play. Good pressure from Tara now, just trying to stop that forward pass. But the USA have got it again on the far side of the pitch with Schott. Oh, and a great bid from Australia. Johnson now with the disc, moving it forward. Sussman floats over the top, a little bit of a risky one, but comes down with it, Schott with an easy pass into the end zone. And Tara from Australia, 16 shot, just caught a little bit flat-footed there. It was a break side, and she just she'd already let her man go too far away from her and just couldn't make that ground back up.
That's a good observation. The team is definitely looking tired right now. It's very, very, very hot out. This 1 o'clock games might have been a good idea when they thought the weather wasn't going to be this hot, but I don't know anyone who has ever been in Italy in August and not thought it to be hot.
Well, Max was telling us he came over to the beach exactly a year ago for this week, and just to make sure that things were going to be reasonable. He said it was 25 degrees every day, there was a light breeze, and it certainly wasn't too hot, and so they built the schedule around that. But a lot of the players, now that they're 4 days into this tournament, and some of them with fairly heavy schedules, some of them playing 3 games a day, with the chance to warm up and warm down and do your call, all of that's going on in the sun. Very, very difficult to maintain the level of physical activity that there's being asked of them. And some of the players saying that an afternoon off or a morning off written into the schedule have been really handy around this time of the week, because all of them want to represent their countries and they want to play the best ultimate they can do. But the stifling heat, again, yesterday we saw temperatures of 39 degrees. And the humidity is also a massive factor. If you're standing still in the sun, you're sweating. In fact, just if you're sitting still in the sun, if you're sitting in the shade, you're probably still sweating. It's hot. In fact, a lot of players have found that they couldn't sleep in their dorm rooms at night because of the temperature. So they've taken their mattresses and they've put them on fire escapes and balconies and found anywhere they can in order to get some sleep.
Even moving all together and getting hotel rooms to get air conditioning. We got fans. The husband of one of my teammates went out and found 6 fans at a little Italian store, and this very sweet Italian boy helped him find a ride over with all 6 fans, and we're all set now with our fans. It's still hot, but it's much better than it was.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than sitting, sweating, and not having any breeze to blow it off. It's just dripping all over you. Anyway, if you're sitting in an air-conditioned office in the UK, or you're enjoying the
fog in San Francisco,
the poor weather in Edinburgh, or wherever you are, I do hope you're enjoying the coverage from the beaches, and we won't moan too much about the heat. We'll try not to, but it is a massive factor, and it's affecting all these players out here. Tamara pivots left, pivots right, finds a way, and finds Tara on the far side. She jacks it. That's going to be beautiful. Floating nicely in front of the Australian player. She got the bid. Oh, gets her fingertip too, but it's just out of her reach.
It just curved. It looked like it was going to be perfect setup for her, and then it just curved down at the end.
There's the 23 shirt of Helen Jones making a great bid. Long legs taking her away from her defender. But the disc just didn't hang for her nicely. The wind's coming off the sea. But it didn't hold up that disc as the thrower might have liked. Float long, nice disc from Rory Titcombe there, and number 42 on the edge of the end zone swings back across to the middle. 77 now, and pressure from the Australians, but not enough to stop the USA. They flow nicely into the end zone. It's 42. Megan Insko with the score, and she's got the white hat on, and seemingly these Americans, when they get their pivots going and they get their change of directions going, they can really just move away from the Australians like they're not there. It's the Aussies chasing shadows right now.
That was a really perfect upfield pass from Rory Titcombe. You know, I think if you grow up with four brothers playing Ultimate, you're gonna learn to have some nice throws.
They're certainly well weighted, and it's a different game playing on the beach. The pitches are smaller. If you've never played Beach Ultimate before, pitches measure 75 metres long rather than 100 metres long. They're 25 metres wide rather than 37 metres wide. And the end zones are 15 metres deep rather than 18 metres deep. That's the WFDF measurements I was giving you there, not the USA Ultimate. They're slightly different dimensions for. Then the end zones are slightly deeper in the US. Is that right, Liz? Slightly shallower
than the Europeans?
Yeah, in grass.
I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay.
Pretty deep.
The Aussies starting again. Pivots left and right. Miller exchanging passes with Anna and finds Melanie now. Back to Heidi. Miller again. Nice disc down the pitch, but it's just a little bit too far. And that there was no float on that disc at all. It was angling in very, very sharply. It had to be perfection. And just a little bit too far ahead of is it Melanie Orb cutting deep there in the 4 shirt.
I think that was a downwind throw, and downwind throws are always hard to catch in the beach because they always go a little faster than people can run.
For Johnson now. 21 shirt and a nice disc across the pitch to Alison Regan. And hard pressure from the number 5 shirt of Emma Briggs there, but I think a foul's been called. And it was 82, Tracy Wu gets the disc back in her hands and she's ready to throw again. Signaling to Megan Insko. It's not Insko, sorry. It's Kelly Bolt that she wanted her to come again. Wu, forward. Regan finds Johnson. Johnson floats it up. It's going to float high. There must be some pressure from Aussie underneath this. Not enough pressure. The Americans bring it down again. It's Maria Madaras that collects that one in the end zone. And not a greatest disc ever. It should have been a little bit flatter. It should have floated a little bit less. But great reading the disc from Madaras, and she brings that disc down for the USA.
And she brought that down without any sand socks on. I just noticed she was barefoot on this extremely hot sand at 1 o'clock. I think the only player out there without socks on their feet.
It's amazing how many people have arrived at the beach this week without sand socks. As we have Vero taking a photograph of us. Yes, a lot of people arrived at the beach this week without the sand socks. Had a bit of a walk around on the sand on the Sunday morning just before the game started on Monday, and thought we can't play on this. I know one of the Great Britain Masters played a practice game against the Irish Open team on the Sunday before the tournament, and halfway through he realised his feet were actually burnt, so he needed to go in and buy sand socks and Nice job for the sponsor tent, selling a lot of sand stocks on the first day. And the five Ultimate guys doing great trade for those. Oh,
nice grab.
Tamara going to the sand there to keep that disc alive. She flows nicely down to Tara. Tara's looking into the end zone, but there's no cuts coming. She has to send it back, and a point block from Ty Carvello getting the hand up there. And well, she is, isn't she? Disc out to number 11. Sends it. It's floating. It's going to be a nice grab there. Is that Ty again with the... she's got the wrong name on the back of her shirt. She's definitely down here as Ty Carvello, number 23, and that's what she's wearing.
Yeah, and she is number 23, and that is her. I do not know if this is a new last name or if this is somebody else's jersey.
Hey, maybe she got married, Liz, and you just didn't know. You're not up on your gossip.
I'm not up. I was told she was engaged. Maybe she's jumping the gun. Maybe she got the name on the jersey ahead of time.
Right. You know, she needs the shirt for the next 2 years. She wasn't prepared to pay twice, so she's getting the advanced name in early.
She's blocked 2 shots already. Sparkles. And she just says whatever.
She'll say whatever to me too, but
Don't worry about it.
Pharaoh. So the Aussies moving now. Where is the lady with the umbrella blocking some of the shots? We've asked her to move a little bit further down the pitch so she doesn't obscure your view. Aussies with a disc into the end zone, but it's play's been stopped already and a pick been called. And the play coming back again. It's the Adriatic sparkling away. The Aussies struggling in this game. The USA women very, very strong. Yesterday they defeated Japan to 2 points. And
13-3.
Sorry, 13-3 was it? They got 3 points. And the disc floats over the top. I was actually watching the stream myself, Liz, back at the apartment. I was able to listen to you and Steve's commentary. I was quite enjoying that.
Very late arrival. We had gotten mixed messages about the starting time of that game, so that was unfortunate.
Yeah, there's been a few adjustments to the schedule, and with as many people as we've got here and the number of different sites we've got here, it's sometimes quite difficult to get the message out. The players were there, and they had their game. We hope you are able to enjoy that one and possibly this game as well.
The score isn't... Oh,
A great grab.
Yeah, number 7.
That's Heidi. Tall figure. Floats it nicely into the end zone. Beautiful work. Anna Cousins on the end of that one. Great pass from Heidi. Great point from her. Going to the sand to rescue that one. Collecting a face full of the stuff for her trouble. And then having the calm and collected... patience to wait for Anna to make that cut. Anna Cousins in the corner, the number 2 shirt.
And Australia gets back on the board, making it 9-2.
The Australian ladies having a good middle part of the tournament where they've won 3 games on the spin, but that run is going to end here. And the USA women. USA dominant in a lot of the divisions out here, but now we're starting to see teams getting the measure of them. And USA women were beaten yesterday by Great Britain. The USA Open team were beaten yesterday by Italy. And the USA Masters team, who just seemed so unstoppable against Canada the other day, were beaten by Austria.
The U.S. Mixed Masters team is still undefeated, but we did barely pull out a very hard-fought double game point game against Germany just now.
I was on the sideline for that one, Liz. It looked very, very tense indeed. Well, it was interesting. I actually thought it was just a mixed game. I didn't realise it was a mixed Masters game. That's how good you guys were looking. So, disc from USA. It was Ratcliffe there with a bit too much pie on that one. She's been visiting the gym a bit often. and floats over the head of the receiver, and we see 79 for Australia. Suzanne can fetch the disc.
Kat Radcliffe is one of the all-time American women's stars. She plays with Seattle Riot, I believe, and it's just been a force for the last few years.
So we see a nice push pass from Australia's going to have to go deep and fetch this one, but miscommunication. Tara with the great put. She's got a strong arm on her. Recent graduate from the Australian junior ranks. Young player, but strong, physical, with the number 16 shirt on her back, and lending her arm to this Aussie team. USA with Wu, and mistakes from the cuts, not following the patterns, and apologising as she gets out of the way. The disc has gone hard deep. Oh, not enough awareness from the Aussies. He could have got a hand to that. Smokes the disc into the end zone, and it's number 23. No, hang on, no, it wasn't 23.
20. No, 23 had the pass.
Oh, okay.
Grab and the pass to Julia Weiner at number 20.
So Weiner with the score, and Ty Cavello with the assist there. But this is there was a sort of a play there where the disc was going deep, and the Australians face marking, not looking where the disc was. It would have been an easy D if she'd known about it a fraction of a second earlier. I could have just put her hand up to stop it, but the receiver was wise enough to know it was coming.
It's a low, fast pass. It was definitely a heads-up play to actually get that thing, and then nice, easy pass to Julia, who was wide open in the end zone.
Perhaps the sideline could have been a bit more active there with the call.
Now Rory Titcomb, one of the two captains, is having a little chat with the team on the sideline, maybe giving them some things to think about on this D point coming up. We've got Allison Regan back on the line, and Poof Sanderson, and the disc is up from number 17, who is Anna Schott. All right, Australia with the disc. Number 2.
Aussie's making another mistake, and it's Schott now with the disc, looking to advance it, and she does. Pivots left, right, dump across the pitch. Schott again. Finds Johnson just shy of the end zone. Beautiful lifted pass to the 77 Jen Sanderson.
Goes by Poof because of her hair. She's got pretty poofy hair when she lets it down.
Well,
you may want to mention her name on there so that they know who's blocking the screen constantly.
I don't know her name, but she's the SO of the Grandmasters captain. Who's one of the most obnoxious people there is.
So
She's from San Diego. I can't think of her name, but I can't stand
we would like to apologise for the lady who just keeps wandering in front of our shot. We'll find her name for you and let you know.
She's from San Diego, I know that much.
We're trying our best to make sure you can have an uninterrupted view of this pitch, this beach, and the game that's taking place on it. It's a timeout called, and the Aussies taking the opportunity to go and shelter under 3 umbrellas, all held aloft.
U.S. huddled barely under 1. Oh no, split apart into 2.
But 2 of them have made their way further down to their own private little, they've got their own umbrella over there. They're quite enjoying that.
It's hard to have a sideline presence when the sun is just this hot. We sent messages around to the teams trying to tell everyone to bring little portable umbrellas, knowing that it was going to be hot, but somehow they didn't all make their way here. And there's a lot of big, large beach umbrellas held aloft by the stronger people, I suppose, to try to help people stay cool. But up here in the sound booth, it's actually quite nice. We're in the shade. We got a little breeze coming from the ocean.
The bottom third of my legs is getting fried, Liz, but
sorry.
it's quite all right.
Is there any way we can get you more?
No. I'm down a step on the booth from Liz, and it means our heads are the same height, so we can commentate nicely. But my feet are frying as a result. Yeah, I think they've now opened up a slot in the middle of the day where there's this show game on in the first hour, and the second hour is completely empty. No, I really don't want you to pour water on my legs.
Can you put an umbrella on his legs?
So yeah, there's a basically for most of the teams, apart from the two in this show game, there's a 2-hour gap in the middle of the day now, and people have gone to find a bit of shelter, a bit of rest, and just recharge the batteries, ready for the afternoon. And we can see the sun shining, and they are both teams tired after a long game in the sunshine. And number 16, Tara, picks the disc up back of the end zone. Another great pull from Rory Titcombe there. Really stretching the Australian play to the back of the end zone. Tara cutting around. Pressure. Great pressure from... Oh, no, it's been called as a strip by Heidi. I'm not sure if it's going to be contested there by Jen Sanderson. Contested, uncontested.
Yeah, she seemed pretty friendly about it.
Yeah. And Heidi, looking deep, sends it. Mistake though, and the disc is back in American hands, and it moves quickly now to 11, and swings across towards the end zone. Sanderson again pokes it, floats it, beautifully done, and it manages to land safely in the hands of 12.
Both Australian ladies made great bids on those passes, though. They were hard to contest, but they got in there. They both laid out trying to get them, but the catches were made in Australia. I'm sorry, the U.S. scores again, so the score is now 12-2.
We've got a 12 missing from our roster from the USA. I'm not sure who that is. Do you know who that is with the... Just the one that received that disc in the end zone there.
I think her last name is Swanson, but I don't know her first name.
Looks like Swanson on the back of her shirt.
Maybe she has.
Oh, I mean she's swapped numbers, so she's now 12 rather than 3.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
Rosters always seem so unimportant when you're putting the team together, doesn't it? As soon as you appear on TV and someone gets your name wrong all game, suddenly you wish you'd spent that extra 30 seconds making sure the numbers match the names, match the shirts. So the disc goes up and flies to the back of the end zone where Tamara sends the disc out. Nice flow from the first two passes for Aussies, but now they run out of options. Everyone's cutting deep, and the change of directions just beautiful dive out catch from Tamara, going over the top of her American counterpart, and manages to make a safe pass forward to Miller. Miller, the pass really wasn't on there, but there was nothing else on for Miller. She was trying to find Suzanne down the line, but the aggressive defense of Anna Schott closing out that option as it arrived. And again, we see Americans' pace, just such a key factor. Schott stays on her feet and grabs that one. Nice 1-2. Schott with the disc again, floats over the top, and that's going to be some D on that from Aussies. Tamara getting a disc up. Not a great shot, not a great disc to the end zone from Schott there.
Not a great decision. There was an easier pass to a more open player, and she chose to do the difficult pass where that was more easily contested.
And the Australians really looking tired. They got a short line, only 11 players. Not everyone able to switch off at the end of a point, and they are. Sorry, so they are able to switch off at the end of a point. You know, I'm thinking 7 aside. So yeah, they are able to switch off, but they are looking quite weary and.
It's got to be a tough thing to do, to have to play this American team at 1 o'clock and be down 12-2 and have a low roster and have to keep going. But they really are. They're still putting the effort in. That's a great pass from Tamara.
Yeah, Tamara making the disc float beautifully in the air for Emma Briggs. And Briggsy finds the 17 shirt of Miller, and a foul called against 43, Kelly Bolts, just getting a little bit too physical. And Miller, she sends the disc down pitch, but a little bit too much on that one. Tamara making the end-to-end cut, having got the block at the other end of the pitch. She's made a good forward passes and a great cut down pitch herself. having to do all the work, and the rest of the Australian ladies looking a little bit flat, energy low, the sun's sapping it all, and not the numbers in their squad to rotate and maintain the momentum if they do get any.
And I think all of the teams underestimated the number of players that were going to be needed for this tournament, given the heat.
Yeah, great fake there from Wu. Was it a foul?
How can I make this exciting?
It was Emma Briggs fouling there, and Tracy Wu with the disc. Still having a bit of a discussion about that, but Wu now finds shot.
Here it is.
Shot's going to send it. It's floated.
Lovely pass.
Sussman has caught it under the end of that one, and Insko is cutting. Finds Bolt. Bolt looks back to Shot. Shot. Oh, beautiful bid from the Australians, but it's Sussman that brings the disc down, and that's gamed 13-2. The Americans from US of A beating Australia in this women's division pool match. And Liz, just summarise that game for us there.
And the game came down, I think, to the heat, really taking it out of the Australians with the only 11 players, and really just precision offense by the Americans. They did not make very many mistakes. They made some mistakes at the beginning, but towards the end they really cleaned it up. And the Australia really kept the effort up. That was a beautiful last-minute bid by Tamara, number 0, who had been all about that point. She had done everything great there and did what she could to try to stop that goal, but that's what happens.
Yeah, so disappointment for the Australians. They just couldn't live with the fast running and aggressive USA team. Aggressive in the nicest possible way, I think. Yeah. They attack the disc and they really go for every single play. But also their clinical style with their discs are so good and so precise. And we saw very, very few handling errors from the Americans, and as soon as they do make a mistake, their ability to apply that pressure again and get the disc back was very, very difficult. But they can be beaten. We've seen that already this week. The Great Britain women's team playing a very, very strong game against them.
Also, the mistakes on the beach in this heat destroy a team. We saw a few times the Australians had the downwind overshot, and you tire out the player running down trying to get it. And then that player has to come back and play defense. And if it's a long point with a few mistakes at 1 o'clock in the day and under the sun, and you already have a small roster, that's really going to make it hard to come back at that point.
Okay, so hope you've enjoyed the coverage here from the beach of Lignano Sabbiadoro. We've been brought to you in conjunction with I Am Ultimate. We've got to thank our crew today, which has been Sean Colfer on the camera, and Tushar and Rose pressing the buttons, and all the captions arriving for you. I've been Tom Stiles.
I'm Liz Garfinkel.
And we'll hope you join us again this evening for the live game from the City Arena pitch. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.